Buddy. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back again to another episode of the Conversation of Our Generation. Um, yes, my name is Nick Jamel, and I am wearing the same shirt as in my last video. No, I'm not just wearing this shirt all week. You'll see a couple videos where I'm wearing it, but I'm just recording them kind of back to back so that I have stuff to post. Like I said, it was kind of a busy week for me, so and it's going to be a busy week ahead of me, so I just want to kind of get a couple on the backlog so I can post them as they like for day to day, so that they're up there and kind of get new stuff out. And then, so yeah, so it's just kind of all recorded back to back. It's within an hour, so it's not gross. Just wanted to kind of make that clear. But anyways, today, oh, I guess I should probably tell you what this is all about. This conversation of our generation is me trying to get a dialogue going, create a forum for people to exchange ideas, test their ideas, test my ideas, and help me grow so that I can help others grow as well. And we can all help each other grow. Get involved on the conversation on Facebook. If you see my video, get in that comment section and, point out where I'm wrong or say your 2 cents or whatever it is so that we can get people involved in this. And, when you post on it, then your family sees that post and can see it, and the people can see replying and etc. And it grows to where, now a bunch of people can see this conversation going on that hopefully we can keep. And I want to, when I see these things happening, we'll try to kind of keep it civil and decent and just in search of like an honest truth. So that's what I want. Today, we're going to talk about something that I've recently taken initiative to try to do, and I'm going to try to push. And while I would prefer that government kind of just stays out of everything, I would pretty much consider myself like voluntarist, which is, you can look it up and see what it means and what it is. But basically, it's it's basically like we should govern ourselves. We should be able to associate with whomever we wish, and we should get the government out of our hair, and that communities should kind of govern themselves, and we shouldn't have people in our business. However, a kind of a libertarian philosophy is really what it is. A very pure libertarian philosophy, and I believe in that by principle, but I'm also pragmatic, and I understand that I'm not going to get there in my lifetime, so I would like to take steps any way I can to get closer to that. And so like one guy that I listen to who talks about this is Jason Staple, and he'll say, way I see it, liberty is a bus ride, and I'm going to stay on this bus. If you have to get off on that stop, but you're on the bus ride with me, that's fine. And, I might get off before you, but as long as you're on the bus ride towards more liberty, we have common ground. And so that's kind of where I see this, is pragmatically. And also, I don't want to tear down the system all at once, because I know that the system has developed to where there's people who are really, really reliant on it. And also, if you tear it down, then a lot of people who are reliant on it are the people who are in charge of banks and things like that. So if you tear that down, you tear down all of our livelihood, even people who are self-sufficient and are able to care for themselves and within the system. If you tear it down, it hurts everybody. So that's how I see it. What I'm doing right now is I've decided that I'm going to try to push an amendment to the Constitution. I've got onto one of the Republican candidates for senator, the guy one of the guys in the primary who's primary for the Republican seat against the Republican ticket against Joe Donnelly. Man, I'm having trouble talking right now. Mark Hurt. I contacted his campaign, and I proposed this, and I said, I would like to sit down and propose this amendment, and I'll tell you what it says and everything, and I'm going to keep honestly badgering them until they sit down and talk to me about it. And and I want you to propose this, and if you do, I'll support you and everything. But I want this is what I want as a major piece of um, legislation, or as an amendment actually, and it is what I call the Jefferson Amendment. It's something that Thomas Jefferson actually proposed, and it says that, and the wording is basically, they can word it in a way that makes sense for them, but it's that Congress can't pass a law, or can't vote on a law, sorry, until it has been made public to everybody in Congress for 2 weeks. So they can't bring a bill to vote like after it gets finished, that night before, and then, Wednesday night they're putting on the touches in it in committee, and then Thursday morning they bring it and they say vote party lines. They can't do that. They have to have it out there for 2 weeks, and everyone can read it and look at it, and have their staff look at it and analyze the effects of it for themselves and make real good decisions. They can make principled decisions based on what the bills say, because they can actually read it. All right. Next thing is, bills cannot be more than 20 pages. I think that is a very long bill, in all honesty. I would rather see it like 5, but 20 I'll compromise, because you can read through 20 pages of legal mumbo jumbo in 2 weeks. I think that's a very reasonable thing. So there's that. And they can do all the committee processes the same as they want, and however they want. But once they say this is what we're going to vote on, they can't. They have to have it out for 2 weeks, and it has to be 20 pages or less, because that way we know what's there. They can't hide shit like they do. And the last thing is, the third part of it is, Congress cannot have a law cannot be enforced. I guess so. It wouldn't be up to Congress. Basically, this would be the executive branch's job. A law cannot be enforced until 2 weeks after it has been passed, at least. They can't act on it until 2 weeks after it has been passed, if it's something that regulates the citizens. So if they say, like, weed's illegal, and then, like, 2 hours later they're, like, raiding shit, that's not fair. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of laws take a lot longer to take effect, but I do want to limit them so that they can't flip a switch and turn around and just, because that's an infringement. I mean, that's really, honestly, probably infringing upon the Fourth Amendment. It's a, unlawful search and seizure. But it's without, like, a probable cause. I guess it wouldn't infringe upon it, but maybe a little bit questionable. To your due process, I guess, would be more what it would be against, because you don't really have the ability to adjust to new laws, and I think due process would include being able to adjust. So that's what I would say. That way, if you're a lady who doesn't believe in gay marriage and you are the marriage certificate signer, then you have a couple weeks to figure out what you're gonna do about it, and you can really think about it, and figure out how, something else, because you can't have someone who's morally opposed to something have to do something the next day. That's tough. I get her, I get her viewpoint. I don't agree, but I get where she's coming from. If you told me tomorrow that, I have to do something that I'm morally opposed to, and I don't want to, like, things like, because there's not a lot of, like, liberty-minded things that I'd be, like, the things that I'd be morally opposed to, you'd be like, yeah, duh. So I can't really think of something like that, because I don't care what you do with your life. So I won't go into that. But, if you said, Nick, this is something that's you got to do tomorrow, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, well, I would like to have 2 weeks to go find a job so I can get out of this job that was going to have me have to do that, right? So that's kind of how I see it. And the reason why I want to do this, and I'm really going to push on this, and I want to do this video because I want people to watch this video and see it, because I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or any, whatever, political party, I think it's a really good thing for the Congress to know what's in the bill, for the bill to be short, concise, to the point, and exact on what it's actually doing. It's not filled with earmarks and tax credits and shit like that. And then for us to be able to understand what's in the bill, because if it's made public to Congress, by the way, it'll be made public to us for those 2 weeks, just so you know, because that's just how it works now. Like, the news media is going to have the bill, they're going to know what's in it, and they can discuss it, and that's good, so we can see, and we can get to our Congress people and tell them how to vote, and they can get that information from us as well. And once it's enacted, we can make adjustments. We have 2 weeks to, at least, to make adjustments, and they can change the time periods, but I think for certain things, like if it doesn't go in, if it's something that's kind of necessary that needs to go into effect, then it'll be in 2 weeks. If they think that they can put off like the new tax structure, they'll probably get put off to next year anyways, right? Like the things that are big sweeping legislations, they don't enact them immediately. But the things that are enacted immediately, like the regulations of all of a sudden you have to have, you know, a ramp for handicapped people, and that's fair, you know, that's a good thing maybe, but you know, if I'm a poor shopkeeper and I'm barely making ends meet, you know, I'm keeping my family alive, I don't have freaking money to go build a handicap ramp in 2 weeks, you know, or tomorrow. I don't have time for that right tomorrow. Like, give me time, you know. So there's things like that I think it's going to be really good to apply for, or that it'll apply towards, that'll help us make adjustments, and it'll also, more than anything, restrict the government's ability to sneak around the system, to push things on partisan majorities, and allow people to really be thinkers and to assess things. And that's what I want to do with this. So I really hope you guys can actually get involved in behind this, because I'm actually very, very passionate about this, and I'm going to be badgering Mark Hurt, and I'll hit up Donnelly as well, and I'm going to be talking to him, and whoever the hell can support this and really promise to me, like face to face, that they are going to bring this in some form into the United States Senate, I will campaign for it vigorously. If they will do that, I will basically quit my job and work for them, pretty much. Not quite, but I will bust my ass, and I will be doing all sorts of extra stuff for them just to get them, because I think I'm passionate about this. I'm not passionate about politics, but I'm passionate about freedom and liberty, and I think this is a way to protect ourselves from the government, and that's why Jefferson wanted it, because he's about as big as you can get on protecting yourself from the government. You know, so that's what I want to do here, and that's what I want you guys to get behind this, and I think this is an actual really good cause that is accessible to everybody, whatever your beliefs are. So I hope you guys can watch this video, see what I have to say about this, and give me suggestions even, and comments, and, you know, help me out with that, because I would love to make something happen here. And if you guys agree with me, you know, but write to people, you know, writing to your senator, writing to, contacting, you know, Mark Hurt or Joe Donnelly, if you're whichever side, you know, whichever, because I'm only going to contact Republicans really, mostly because I can vote on them in the primary. But I'll contact Donnelly. If they won't do it, Donnelly will do it. I'll vote for him in the election. I don't care, because, you know, if you can promise me that you're going to expand my liberty, or at least bust your ass to, I don't care. So that's my thing. And with that, I just want to thank you guys for coming. I know this was a shorter video a little bit, but I just wanted to say thank you for listening to the conversation of our generation and getting involved. And hopefully we can make this really a dialogue. I really want this one to kind of be a bit of a spark towards something, and that we are able to get something going here and hopefully make an actual change here. And if you have suggestions towards it, if you like what I'm saying, share it, get it out there, and let's make something. Let's make a little bit of a ripple in still water. And let's get this going. Let's get this conversation of our generation going and get the dialogue going. All right, have a good one, guys. Thank you. Bye.